I will call the regular meeting of the Architectural Review Board for Monday, April 28th, 2025 to order. Roll call, Andre Letelier, Chairman, Ed Armstrong, Secretary, and Michael McGinnis. I will seat him for Donna. Still on here. Forum. And minutes, I'm going to, without objection, by unanimous consent, and it goes into the record. Sign applications, we have none. We have a referral for item number 3, Composite LLC, an application for site plan modification, office and showroom for construction services and supplies, including 5,000 square feet of indoor display area at 6771 Mill Rock Road, East 42 by 33 and 34 in the industrial district.
How are you?
Good.
For the record, Joe Wren, as you all know, representing the applicant, Felipe Santos is with us.
Hi.
Felipe owns Santos Contracting, and we're all familiar with this parcel right across from Mystic Market, where all the sheds were until recently.
Yep.
There's one left because he put it together too well, and it's very difficult to split it to get it to travel on the road. They're trying to figure out creative ways to be able to move that. But that one will go too. So the Atlas still has a lease on this property. Santos does work for Atlas, so they will be subleasing while his lease is still in effect over there. So we work with the owner. You know, the property's always been kept up pretty nice. They didn't originally do everything that they were supposed to on the plan. And we really found that out while we were, doing this. Everything changed around the display area, got bigger, the front landscape area got narrower. Even though it looks nice with the rail fence and the flowering trees and all of that stuff, it wasn't really up to what the site plan said. So now this gives us an opportunity to kind of get it back to what was approved before, and also make some other nicer improvements to it. So they were one street tree short before. They were supposed to have 6. 6 over here, they only had 5. So we're adding one more tree there, and then the red hatched area here.
Yep.
That was supposed to be the 25-foot landscape area, and they never made 25 feet. So we're increasing that, taking some of the gravel out and adding more green space along the front. The split rail fence was removed. It was put down on the other site over by the highway now. Felipe plans on to not having it across the front, but he plans on having that white split rail along this side, which would be the eastern side. So the fence kind of terminates by the existing shed, and he's going to extend that all the way up.
Oh, nice.
We don't want to lose corner visibility, so we're falling short a little bit, but we're just adding kind of like a flat board split rail fence that will detail on the second sheet here.
Yep. Nice.
So it's nice looking, and it fits the site. What Felipe plans on doing is having display boards. He has Crown Composites. So as you know, a lot of our building products nowadays are made out of non-ROP PVC. So he wants to have some display boards like that we will build with some soffit lighting maybe up in there, and put different types of siding materials, right? Generally trim and siding.
Sure.
Things that he does as a craftsman working with those materials. So in the display area, in this hatched kind of rectangular area here, within that area, on various displays, people could pull it in, walk around and see it.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Then in the existing building, that will be the same use. It's kind of like an office and a showroom where people could go in, maybe make a transaction, and or display more materials inside as well. So thank you. So the parking area as shown will remain on the existing stone that's there. The display areas, one on this side and one on this side, those are going to remain on the first stone that's there, no changes. They failed to put in the paved handicap parking space in the aisle before. So that will be part of this plan, paved parking space, stripe with the proper sign and so forth. The ramp is there to get up into the building, but the paved, the paved area is not. And the signs are not there, so, he will put that in there. There's no site lighting proposed at all. I did mention the soffit lighting on those little display boards, up underneath the roof. The little portion of the eave that's up there, the little soffit, little LED, low wattage, type deals up in there just to illuminate that. On the building itself, we show these 3 locations in red, and those are just motion secured. They only come on when there's motion, and when they shut off, then it's only after there's no motion. So those are on the second sheet as well, and they're just kind of simple motion with a camera. With those panning downward, and again, that's only if there's motion, and otherwise there's no lighting at all. So safety and security mainly. Like I said, that one final shed will go soon at some point. We'll figure out how to move it.
Yeah,
And
we'll have to demo that thing. It's impossible to take it apart.
yeah,
And it's
a
pricing.
shame.
And it's pricing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a shame because it's nice. If someone could pick it up with a helicopter, bring it to their site,
Bring it to my yard.
they do it. That's what I said. But you gotta transport it, so transportation probably costs as much, you shut down
Oh,
the
yeah.
roads and
Yeah.
make sure the wires are high enough and everything else, so that's a little.
That's right.
The last thing that we didn't talk about yet are the signs. So the building is staying as is, same color, right, same roof, everything.
Yeah.
The signs, we provided various documents, but they're on the plan on the second sheet with full specs, and then we provided these to you as well. We looked at those. So there's always been a front and a side, and these were grandfathered. So what we did is we held the same size or smaller as what was there most recently. With Atlas, they had the side sign, and they had that sign. You could still see the coloration difference instead of the siding. So as part of the original approval, we had a certain amount of 35.5 square feet, whatever it was on the side, and 11 and change on the front. So those sizes are held, so the signs aren't bigger than what was there. The only lighted port, there's no floodlight or anything on this. The only lighted portion is the circle, circle symbol, and it's LED backlit. And just for Andre, it's 5,000 K or less. The last backlit sign we had was 6,000 K or less. These are 5,000 K, more or less. So I think that is everything, but we have the colors. Obviously the sign is going to be a composite material. That's his business. As far as the lettering, they're not raised letters, right? They're
Yes, they raise like a half inch.
Oh,
Exactly how they had it before.
okay. So similar sign, I didn't realize there was a little bit of relief on the letters, but it said it's about a half inch out, so you can look at the third dimensional depth. To it. I think that is everything. If you have any questions, there's really no need for a dumpster, so we don't have an enclosure. It'll just be probably a rollaway barrel. To very, very little trash generation on the site.
Question, anybody?
I have a question about, you're gonna have about 25 of these lot?
Yeah.
Are you gonna have, is your intention to have signs on these, no?
Signs, no.
Indicating what's in that area?
Or indicating the product,
Yeah.
yes. I would say like,
That's a problem because that makes it a freestanding sign.
oh, really?
You know, you'd have to get someone to decide that it's a product, but it isn't because that's a display, so that becomes a sign. So now you have 25 signs plus the freestanding. We'll get to the other signs in a minute. You know, I had a chance to look at that.
Yeah.
I went and photographed the building too, and I didn't see, I can show you the picture in the sunlight, but there's no indicate. I would have hoped you would have given us a photograph of the building with a sign on it, and also on your drawing doesn't match the building. You're missing
Oh,
the window on
other
the
side.
side,
That's the wrong side, that's fine.
the other side.
Yeah,
The east side, the east side and the north side.
it's not facing.
Yeah, okay. Nevertheless, we looked at the front and,
Yeah,
I
we have the
remember,
last.
that one I remember a sign from the doodad shop. I don't remember Atlas's sign, but I remember that there was some kind of a gift shop or something that was in there. I guess.
Yeah, we did Atlas's thing back in 2017 or whenever that was, and we got those signs approved. So there are records.
Yeah, there's records of that. But of course, our job now, you understand, is to make it less non-compliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Because industrial one, you're allowed one sign on a building, not two. And one freestanding sign on your site plan, it shows you were going to remove that, but I would think that you would get better eyes on there. From its prominent location, you can light it up, it's the code, that's the correct size, he did put the right thing in there. And, I think it would be money better spent. We can talk about the lighting too, because that backlighting is really, considered, internal. Right now, because we haven't included much in the way of shadow lighting.
Yeah.
You know, and that poses a problem because you can't control it. We had that issue with another applicant.
Yeah.
And we had to set it up so that there was no uplighting to that ring. Because the size was wrong too. You had your square foot figured on 12-foot height, it's 10 feet. Okay, it's in the book. It's not 12 feet for your basic measurement.
Yeah, that doesn't, what control here? So we had a site plan that was approved with signs for Atlas.
Yeah.
That used smaller signs than what was there, so that was less non-conforming at that time. So we just matched the size of those signs that were there.
So it can become less non-conforming.
But does it have to be?
Because, you know, actually with that sign too, you know, again, going along with our, you know, how we feel about simplicity, there's a lot of information on that. And considering it's going to be on the other side of the display area, it's going to be at an important intersection, it's difficult to read. You know, so I don't know if there's any way you can simplify what's there. The basic product goes that byline. Now, the sign at the one at the bottom here, this is fine, but you have a lot of little detail on the logo. You know, and that's probably not going to be very visible from the intersection. You know, the stuff under it is fine. The contrast looks nice. But you have a lot of detail there. And I mean, you could certainly put it on, but it's going to be, you know, just excess expense. You know, maybe the sign on the front, you could do that because you'll be at the street level and you won't be on a main street. Okay, but the
The side on the thing here, the side, the front, and in this one, we don't need to have all the letters on the white section.
Yeah, and this is the one I'm saying, you know, you've got this little stuff under here. Here it's fine on top, but this you can't even read it really.
That we cannot even read it.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't even have.
This stuff
We
here
don't
is
have to
fine.
do it.
You'll read that. There's enough contrast there.
Mhm.
But again, I would think it would be plenty better spent on that freestanding sign because then you're fully compliant with one freestanding sign and one sign on the building. So you can bring it back completely.
How, is this the proper size? Do they have more space to
Well,
work with? Or is that
no,
like
no,
the
they
max?
didn't, no, they didn't because they didn't, okay. The square here, it's really 55.5 square feet. So the sign is okay. It's just that in the book, you know, it's 10%. Okay, of the square footage is what it's allowed. So at 10 feet, it's 206 square feet. You know, so that would give you 26.6 square feet. And they were looking for,
So this is a little bit bigger.
yeah, that's a little.
I have a suggestion just for the design of the sign, which might kind of work with the compliance too. So you have like a lot of negative space just right here. And maybe if you just did this as,
Just lower the medallion?
other things. If you did the design like this and had all your, so get rid of this and put all that stuff right here, then this negative space would actually be space that you could use. And maybe it would be easier to read potentially if you have like more of a long square filling up this space. It's closer to the ground. Just wonder, maybe you can enlarge some of the letters
It would be
if it's
easier to
kind of
read.
going like that. And then you wouldn't have this negative space, so you might get, you know, your lettering could potentially be bigger if you kind of reuse the square footage that way.
The only reason it was done like that is because it matches
What's
almost
there?
exactly what was
What's
there.
there,
More-
yeah.
Or the-
I just think like a design wise, like maybe this could be, if you just kind of had somebody draw it up and see if you can make your words bigger and stuff like that, stay in the compliance area. Because you just have a lot, like some negative space that maybe it would be better seen there. Just a thought. Just as design. thought.
The only other thing that would be a consideration, because his display stands, those display things are about 8 feet tall. And so you wouldn't want to go too low with the sun either.
Yeah, I don't know like what, how high that is. Yeah.
So that would be a,
Yeah.
line of
lots
sight
of- Yeah, yeah, so you have to think about that too. Just a thought.
yeah.
It was probably 10 feet, right, from here to the top of the window.
Probably a little more. Yeah, so
Yes,
you'd
it's
have to
about
see,
10 feet. Yes, it's about
10
10
feet.
feet, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
and these little buildings are 8 feet.
those are 8 feet tall. Yeah. Yeah.
So it might not work, you know, that at
Mhm.
least would be above it. That's a thought. Maybe you can just even enlarge the words right where they are a little bit, if it's a visual thing. if people
Well,
think can't
that's a
see.
good thing, I have to figure that out, because
Yeah.
I've done many signs in my other building in Stratford, and I have to redo the sign 3 times,
Mhm,
because every time first time was letters too small,
right.
second time was letter too big.
Mhm,
And until I put it up, and we
Yeah.
can see it from the street, is when we inside.
Yeah,
But as long as it was inside
Yeah.
the, allow square footage.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, if
But
I
this
have to
gives us a
remove,
good idea of what it's gonna
yes,
look like. though.
yes, if I have to remove some letters because I have to prefer to enlarge like
Mhm.
general contractor, I rather enlarge general
Mhm.
contractor and remove some of the letters.
mhm,
But I will determine when
yeah,
I had signed up.
yeah. Yeah, Yeah, you could probably get away with enlarging them and still fit in
Mhm.
right where it is.
So then you're gonna remove that freestanding sign.
Well, right now, they install it too close to the property.
So it's not, yeah, okay.
Freestanding sign, which one?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that one has to come up. He knows
Yeah,
that. He just,
And he's supposed to remove that, but you know, we're supposed to be 10 feet off, and it's pretty
Yeah.
much right on the property line.
Mhm.
no, that sign's coming up.
Because we have, that has to be on a base, and then these dark gray lines are all the septic field over there.
Yeah.
That's it, Mark. So pushing it back 10 feet, you're into that,
yeah,
you're into that septic. project. So
Yeah,
that's
okay.
just another concern with a freestanding sign.
Is this your logo?
That's the logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like his idea that if you keep that the way it is, just in large letters perhaps. I mean, if you drive up to the building, you'll be able to read it,
Yeah,
right? You won't be able to read it from
Mm-mm.
from
And that's my
outside.
point. I
that's what we
don't.
want people to see, the point of the
Mhm.
sign, to advertise your business. What do? They have to be able to read it. Yeah.
I mean, I like your design. I like the sign. I like the whole concept. Very good work, Joe. Well, nice job. So, I don't have too many negative things to say. I only have positive things to say. So I like it. It's good.
I will just figure that I will, as long as we comply with the square footage for display,
Yeah.
I will have
Yeah.
to remove some of the lettering if it's not visible, because it doesn't make any sense, have the letters there if they are not visible.
Mhm.
The most important thing is the name on top.
yeah,
Yeah,
The one below, it does not matter.
okay.
And the
Yeah,
same thing in the front, display. The letters around the medallion doesn't mean anything, yeah, because I have the name in vague, right?
I think those are probably suggestions. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not demands from us,
Right.
they're just suggestions.
Yeah, we said, I wouldn't put those in the resolution.
No,
You know, If you
Yeah,
made
just
that would be
design.
fine, you know.
But if something was changed, we'd have to come back to you anyway, so. So there has to be some resolution.
Yeah.
Is everybody okay though with the 11 square feet and the 35 square feet though, matching what was there most recently?
Yeah, if you're matching what was there.
Yes.
And that was
And
approved
that
by
was-
site plan, by
Yeah.
zoning 7 years ago, so. We're only putting back what was there.
Pretty exactly, that was the point, to try to make things easier,
Yeah,
just to match even the colors. I know it's not gonna be happy with the colors, because it's
So
not.
these aren't your colors already, like?
No, they are my colors,
Oh, okay.
but my colors are a little bit different, and I try to match exactly what we have in there,
Oh, okay.
just to make sure we get,
What are your colors? A little
uh,
darker or
a little bit darker. Yes.
darker?
It's a royal brown, my color, sorry, royal blue is
But
like.
this looks like royal, is this lighter than what your colors are?
That's a little bit lighter, that one.
Cause like my print is darker.
Yes, but that's
More
the
like
print,
that?
it's more like that, exactly.
I like this better than that
Mm.
personally.
Oh, yeah, looking, seeing the difference. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the darker one
I like
better.
the
There's
darker
more, there's
one.
more contrast with the gold letter,
Mhm.
Yeah,
so I'd stick with the
so
darker.
I'd stick with
It's
darker,
what- That's
yeah.
what I call royal blue. in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
But if your color is more like this and real, like your business, I would stick with that than
Okay.
instead of that. Personally,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
pretty much
design
exactly what they
idea.
had in there before.
Yeah, but I would, yeah.
They're Notre Dame colors.
Ah.
Or Holy Spirit High School where I went. In a different state.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, the, motion sensor lighting, was that 2001? You remember that? That's fine,
Those are the security camera, yeah.
yeah, did they have some kind of a hood on the top?
Yes, so they have a hood on the top and they just shine
Yeah,
down.
okay,
yeah, in fact, the note said dark sky
it
compliant.
is, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, it's, there's like a cup on the back of it,
Yeah.
and the light just is aimed down where the motion is.
Yeah, and on your solar soffit lighting, is what kind of controls do you have on that? Because
That's
you're
gonna
not
be-
supposed to turn your lighting off at an hour after closing. So,
On this
depending on the
one,
battery, on your
the
display,
soffit,
yeah, these soffit lights.
those gonna be on their timer. I
They're on the
think the
timer.
light, yes,
Okay.
after, I don't know what is allowed,
It's an hour.
after
An
8
hour after closing.
hour after closing,
Yeah.
turn it, okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't know what kind of control you have.
yeah, it's a timer.
Yeah, okay. And that by its nature is now lighting anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem. The only thing, is labeling this, how we're gonna do that.
Now, yeah, I have a comment. The previous business did have.
Did have exactly.
Did you have
So-
labels
Oh,
on it?
yeah, so,
But that was on a building.
no, they had a pamphlet.
Oh.
They give you a pamphlet, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, and so you go out and you find which one you want, and they have little labels on each
Yeah,
of
that's
the
doable.
displays.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm planning to do.
Oh,
So I think you need that.
I need that,
Yeah,
otherwise.
because you need to know which is which, but I'm just saying, you're not gonna put some kind of a logo for the,
No,
whatever the
it's
company
just,
is and all
like a
that.
sheet, a waterproof sheet with all
Yeah.
the information
Yeah.
saying,
That's what Walpole, or whatever you call them, just the shed place now.
yeah.
They were doing waterproof labels, and, because I went there a couple of times looking for certain fences, and I found the numbers, and, oh, yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. They gave you a sheet with a number and a description of what it
I
was.
thought that would be fine.
That's exactly what I'm planning to
Yeah.
do.
So each display is gonna have a number on it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yes.
And that's gonna correlate to a sheet
With
that
the.
says number 17 is this.
Mhm.
Yeah, but not-
Yeah, you need that.
yeah, I just didn't want to, some big DuPont or whatever.
Oh, no,
Whoever,
no, I'm trying to make that really nice.
because then that gets near the
Yeah, I
wall.
was thinking to myself, I was like, I didn't know about individual scientific all these things.
No.
I was trying to figure
No,
out.
it's just
how
the
to-
description.
Label. It's
It's
like,
just the description for the product.
We can't make it too easy. for you, Joe.
Oh, that was a good question.
Yeah,
The other light is on the flagpole, that's flagpole light.
yeah, but that's shining up.
Right.
they make flagpole lights that shine down.
Shine down.
And I would strongly recommend that, because I just went through this whole, I
And you
haven't,
told me the dark sky regulation,
Yeah.
that's what I.
yeah, because we were fortunate down at our beach. I bought a 30-foot pole. I've been working with Flagman up in Avon. They're very good, by the way. And what happened was the town came in and didn't like it. The street light that they put in, it illuminated our beach. You know how the stairs go down to the beach? What they did was they put in an LED light, which is dark sky compliant, but it happens to light the top of the pole, so we didn't have to do it, but we were gonna buy one that mounts up on the top, solar.
Yeah, I did see one, it's like a solar disc and then has the little LEDs that shine.
Oh, they're very nice, and
Yeah,
they're
exactly, that's the
fully
one.
compliant, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm planning to do.
Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, it's just that a lot of people still have the lights shining up and it keeps shining up, you know, that's, especially on a 30-foot pole, you need enough in the way of lumens to shine upwards.
Yes.
And the, security lighting, 5,000, that's starting to approach daylight. I'm thinking like 3 to 4. 3 is our bottom, but 4, you know.
I prefer 4.
The motion lighting is only 2,000 lumens.
Well, lumens aren't the same as color temperature. We're talking
Yeah.
color temperature.
Yeah, you can have 2,000 lumen with a 4,000 Kelvin.
Yeah, and that would be a nice light.
temperature.
Okay. Where is that?
Yeah, it talks about your lumens on the second page, I think it is.
Yeah.
I looked it up,
I know the sign.
won't be sure, but you
The
got on
lumens would be about the light you put in there.
150 watts.
Yeah, yeah,
Right here. 2,000 lumen LEDs.
yeah, yeah,
It doesn't
that's
say
about
color
150.
No, it doesn't mention Kelvin at all.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't talked about color temperature.
Right.
So we like it a little warm.
Yeah, I'm suggesting if there's such a thing as a 2,000 lumen with 4,000 Kelvin. You know,
Otherwise, if you can't find it, we could live with 5,000.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be nice if you could do that.
and it only comes on when you're in motion, so a critter walks by, you can kind of come on, but
Yeah.
no, I like the idea of, it's a LED, it's a video,
Yeah,
so you have a video.
I had a security, yeah,
Nice.
the alarm
Nice.
with connected with the camera.
Good idea. Good
That way I
idea.
can see everybody push slowly
Yeah,
around everything.
Yeah.
You see what burglars are doing now? They're putting little like brass cameras, high definition cameras in people's yards. Like to see what, you know, when they come home, or when they leave and so forth, so they're watching, they're surveilling your property. So then they know when they're coming and breaking.
oh, bro,
Just saw that recently.
it's a crazy world.
It's not that difficult of a concept, but
Right.
yeah,
it's just coming out now. They've probably been doing it for 5 years.
yeah.
Crazy. Be careful what you say and what you do. Because you're being watched all the time.
Yeah.
So flagpole light shining down, right? Signs are okay, but maybe simplify some wording.
Mhm.
So we're okay with the, whatever color temperature is fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
My, security lights. Fine.
Okay,
Yeah, 4,000 K if available.
we're okay with the darker royal blue too.
Yeah.
I think we both like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We both like it better.
Yeah. classy.
Mhm. It's hard to get. That color is hard to get.
The dark one.
The royal blue,
Wow.
the,
Right.
yeah, the real one. Really hard to get. But we finally got it. And it was like a $400 half a gallon.
Really?
No raindrop it'll pat on our chest.
Blue and gold.
It's like Fenway Green.
And I make sure nobody kind of has that pattern that will make me take it down. Down the road.
Okay, okay, if not, color royal blue and gold, replace existing and simplify. Okay, heritage. Lettering, okay. Okay, I can't think of-
No, I think you captured it.
Okay, then I'll make a motion, to accept, the application, with the following recommendations: that the flagpole light have a downlight on the top of the pole. The security lights should be 4,000 K if available, otherwise 5,000 K is okay. The colors will be royal blue and gold, and lettering will be simplified on the signs. And the signs will replace the existing permitted signs.
I have a question on the flagpole. I saw something that I like. If I pour a base that is raised like, I would say 30 inches, that's acceptable? That way I can put kind of flowers around it?
Well, it's not site lighting, so I don't think we have anything in the book that covers that I recall. In other words, it's a raised base with a flagpole, and then it's gonna plant something around the bottom. I don't know. I don't
We
know.
love flowers in the sport.
I love flower, yeah, I love flowers too.
So that sounds like a good
I just
idea.
want to make sure you don't complicate things.
Yeah,
To make it look pretty.
Yeah,
For site lighting, like if you're gonna put a light pole in your parking lot, those have to be flush bases, flush to the ground, they can't be sticking up. But there, that's not
Yeah,
a,
that's-
I mean, there is a light on it, but it's the main purpose is.
And what parenthetically,
So it's okay.
is that royal or, that's navy?
I would just not make it too high.
No, it's
Like
gonna be
24
like
inches.
20, 30 inches again with the flowers.
Yeah.
The nice flowers around.
Okay, and replace the existing permitted signs. I can put that, you know.
And I can submit as well, I can bring a color sample, I got it paint. That way I can drop it off, you said we have another meeting on the 5th, I guess, you said that maybe.
That'll be zoning.
Oh, that, okay, but I can drop it off, actual sample of color.
Yeah.
That way I can get it, okay?
Raised base.
Yeah, I mean, that would be this board. I think they're fine with the royal blue.
Okay.
So whether it's the darker one or a lighter one,
That's one. Okay.
this board just prefers darker.
I prefer the darker one.
Yeah.
Okay.
we're not gonna hold it up for.
So then I would make a motion to approve the application as presented, with the following recommendations. The flagpole will have a light, but it should be a downlight, and it can be mounted on a raised base with plantings around the base. Security lights can be 4,000 K if available, otherwise 5,000 K is okay. The colors will be navy blue and gold, and lettering will be simplified.
Yeah, royal blue. Royal blue.
Then navy is darker.
Okay.
To get, we agree on the darker blue.
Are you?
Yeah, royal blue.
Okay with
So
that?
you-
There's some.
I thought you
I mean-
said,
It's just the printer, that's the thing, it's just, let me see how it looks like in the computer.
Your
That's the,
color for your logo, do you know the specific name of that color?
Yeah, you should have a.
it's right there, it's in the application. It's set in the
I
application.
think it says royal.
I know it says royal over
Do
here.
you have a PMS color?
Royal is just brighter.
Is,
Yeah, royal's a brighter blue. Navy is a darker blue.
This says royal,
Yeah.
but if that's your color for your,
that's the color, yeah, that's
if
the
that's your
color.
color for your logo, then
That's right. Yeah, we gotta leave it.
it's okay, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
it's
fine.
fine.
Okay.
You're saying
I
it's
would
darker.
say
than-
royal blue, because that's what he calls it, but
Yeah.
darker shade purple.
Make sure.
Right.
Yeah, whatever you.
It all goes back to that PMS photo. Here, like Andre said.
I always forget to bring the book with me.
Sometimes the names of these things aren't as accurate.
Yeah, they're not as descriptive as you'd like them to be. And then, I think I got replace existing, permitted signs. Okay.
Second.
Okay, second, any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. So moved.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
That was a good like workshop process. Talking through everything.
Good luck with your business.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Glad to see something's going
It's
there.
been a long time
Yeah,
Yeah.
planning this thing. Especially waiting for him to move all those
Oh, shit.
oh, yeah,
out of the parking. lot.
took a while.
Yeah, too long. A little bit too long.
They moved some of them.
Really.
In order to speed up things, I have to move some of them.
Yeah, you want something done, you gotta do it yourself.
Yeah, the only problem that I have in the view is he told me to take it down. I said, no, I
We
would,
just left that, and that's
So I-
because I've seen it.
yeah, I said, we burned that down.
That in my yard.
That's what we all said, we have to run the helicopter.
Oh, jeez.
Can't travel on the road.
That's very.
Yes, that's a good meeting. Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You ready? or-
Can't wait, yeah, can't,
No more obstacles
yeah, no more
now.
obstacle, yeah, can't wait.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Joe.
Welcome, good to see you.
Okay, good night.
We'll see you in the near future.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Yeah.
That's not because they were in my box, but nobody told me.
Okay, hopefully we'll get an email concerning this new pages.
Okay,
We know, because I don't know what they're for.
Yeah, I'll find out.
so there must
There must have been some kind of change in there.
Who creates this? Usually Sarah puts them together, but, come from Chris.
Chris.
I gave you one, right?
It's kind of a routine process that, chapters or sections are updated periodically or, only.
Yeah, people on a need basis.
You know, I wonder if she's done something with the,
It signs.
the plans for,
I'll get there.
Max's place. I know we've had a lot of discussion about this shopping center.
I don't see anything.
It doesn't look different.
No,
Support structure height area is the same, 50 square feet, yeah. Because I know that's gonna come back. We're gonna see that one again.
yeah,
So, yeah, if you have to do it now, this. Obviously, like that, okay. Then anybody having other things that would like to discuss, we talked about.
about the minutes for the last meeting, you
Oh, I
done,
put them in the record,
good,
and it's consent, no objection.
excellent.
I heard that on C-SPAN, and I liked it, and then I checked it in Roger's rules, and you can do that. And that's what people usually do with minutes,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I read them, and I didn't find anything wrong, otherwise I would have brought that up.
Okay.
But I think Janice does a spectacular job on it, so.
Where are we with, Max's place? With Max's place?
Oh, they're gonna come back. Yeah. Okay, so. I'll take motion to adjourn. All in favor?
I
Aye, so